If you're anything like me, you're probably curious where religion came from, because religion is a man-made idea, so where did it come from? Well, this book is a book I just wrote about where religions came from. The whole idea of religions, the whole idea and concept of the light versus the dark, both externally and internally. Now, this book covers so much material. That last picture, that was Atlas. A lot of people like to use that as proof of a globe, saying that the statue Atlas, which is an old statue, is proof that, ancient people always knew we lived on a ball. However, Atlas is not holding the globe, he's holding the sky and separating the sky from Earth. So it's not proof of anything. It's proof that we don't know what we're talking about. That's Saturn. Real Saturn and fake Saturn. Now, this is Moses. Why does he always have horns? This is a really interesting story, and it's all in this book. Now, this is a physical book or a digital book. The digital copy is $10, and it teaches you so much. Like, why is Moses carrying a caduceus? What is that? Well, that's all internal. Again, it has to do with our body. Why is this at the Vatican? All of this pine cone symbolism, it has to do with the pineal gland. Now you have Jesus and Zeus. In Spanish, Jesus is a Zeus. So you have these similarities. Looking at the statues, they look the same. It goes over Cain and Abel and the whole New Testament of the Bible. I really break it down and explain the Son of God and the whole concept of the Son of God. All right, I go over Egypt, creation, Sumerian creation, all of these old creation stories. Now, all of this symbolism from all of these stories is tied in to symbolism today in the modern world. You have the goat, which is very similar to a female uterus. That statue right there is from the Vatican. So what you realize is that a lot of Christianity and religion is tied to two things: worship of the sun and the worship of sex, because it's all about sex and creation. Now, this is an interesting part of the book right here, which talks about vibration and how water has memory, and it just dives into everything. All right, what Saturn really is, the black cube of Saturn, how we ourselves are made up of 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons, and that's every living thing on Earth, because we are all carbon-based. Are these trees or are they mountains? We go into all of the pictures and symbolism, all of the ancient religions, how astrology is tied into both the Old and New Testament, and it is loaded. You can check this book out on my website, withthesun33.com, and you can find me uncensored on Telegram with the Sun33. This book even teaches you how to use a regular deck of cards as a tarot deck, because that is why regular cards were invented back in the day. That is your statue of Judas kissing Jesus, because Judas represents Scorpio, the scorpion, the kiss of death. The very next significant thing that happens in the sky is the sun dies on the cross. And this is all astrological. These are all sun temples. And this book just dives into the whole meaning of all of it. That was Solomon's temple layout, which is a sexual symbol. And it's interesting. So again, if you want to learn anything that is in this book, please go to my website, withthesun33.com. And I also wrote a second book on symbols. It's about 500 pages, and it's every symbol you can ever imagine and the meaning of the symbol, esoteric and mainstream. Now, the newest book I'm working on now is called Deception in the Modern World, and that book is going to be also in print and digital and on my website. And that's a good book. It dives into all the deception, NASA, and the use of alchemy and magic and just everything. So check it out. I love you all. This is my opinion, and I thought I was allowed to have one. Maybe not, but check me out with thesun33.com.